So, February 1st, National Letter of Intent Day. We have 8 student athletes up here this morning to sign. I would also add that this is the largest group in Prairie View High School history that ever come to a signing. So give yourselves a hand. 692 days. That's the average amount of days a high school student attends a 4-year high school. 692 days. 4 years. Now think about this, 1,038 days. 6 years. Most of these student athletes sitting at this table have been at Prairie View High School for 6 years. Came in as 7th graders when Prairie View High School was a 7, 8, 9, 10. We're here as 8th graders. Both years, those 2 early years, our high school athletes competed, even though we only had freshmen and sophomores competed at the varsity level. So Prairie View High School has always tried to compete at the very highest, and these 8 student athletes exemplify that. 114 days. That's how many days are left until you all graduate. Some of the parents got a little unhappy with me this morning when I brought that number up. I don't know why. It's kind of exciting, but I think it's probably a little scary too. 73 days. That's how many days of school are left for you all. So as you walk down the hallways later today and you look up and you see those posters going up for the rest of the spring semester, it's going to be a quick countdown. Time flies when you're a senior, especially when we get the second semester. 8 very special Prairie View High School student athletes that we want to celebrate this morning. So give them a round of applause again. We're going to individually introduce each of our student athletes and have coaches speak a little bit about each one. And this morning we are going to start with Tevin Superman Johnson. Tevin Johnson played linebacker and running back at Prairie View High School. His parents are Daryl and Kathy Johnson. He is going to attend Valparaiso College in Indiana. His head coach is Dale Carlson. A couple personal highlights about Tevin. 2-year All-State linebacker. Number 1 tackler in 4A with 174 tackles. MVP 2011, first team All-Conference. Defensive Player of the Year in 2010. 4-year varsity letterman. Captain in 2011. 4-year academic All-State. Member of National Honor Society. Wow. A little personal biography note on Tevin. Tevin Tea Time Johnson, aka Superman. Tevin's passion and zest for life is football and helping others. He is a leader on and off the field and known for his great sense of humor. He lives to make people laugh. He's hoping to bring big things to Valpo and would like to thank everyone for all of their support through the years. I'd like to bring up Coach Rocky Snyder and Coach Todd Riccio up to the stage, please. We're going to have a couple comments from each of these coaches on Tevin, and then we will continue down the list of our Elite 8 here.
So all 4 years we've had Tevin here at Prairie View. He's kind of been our emotional leader on the field for us. His emotions sometimes wear a little over on his sleeves. You guys come to a football game. But that, we fed off of as a team. He was that emotional leader for us. He was dedicated all 4 years he was here, on and off the field, in the classroom with his National Honor Society, with his grades. You know, he did it both ways. He did it right. He was a role model for our younger kids to always look up to. And we're going to miss him tremendously because he set a very high bar for our student athletes to rise up to. And so, congratulations, Tevin, on your day today. You've earned it, and you've worked very hard for it. And we're going to miss that kid.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Tevin, he's a kid that I'm proud of, individual I'm proud of, to be able to say that I was able to coach for 4 years. He exemplifies what a student athlete should be, both on the football field and in the classroom. And there's no doubt in my mind, you know, if he sticks to what's gotten him recognition at the high school level, that at the next level, he's going to be very successful, and he's going to make us proud.
All right, our next student athlete, Jordan Vaden. Jordan Vaden played wide receiver, and I think he played most every other offensive position this year. His parents are Jeff and Deborah Vaden. He is going to attend Colorado State University in Fort Collins, and his college head coach is going to be Jim McElwain. Personal highlights, letters, 4 years in football. 4 years moved to Brighton, Commerce City area. Attended Colorado Academy, RMSEL, and Hamilton Middle School before coming to Prairie View. Has 3 siblings, 1 older brother and 2 older sisters. His brother Jeff played football at UNC. His sister Aben played basketball and golf for Peru State College in Nebraska. And his sister Ashley was a state champion goalie in high school. She attended CU and is currently a student at CSU. Jordan has always loved sports, and he says he's very competitive. I think that's correct. A couple comments from his coaches.
There again, Jordan Vaden, a kid that I'm so very proud of, both of what he's accomplished on the football field and just what he's accomplished as a student, as an individual. He's probably the most talented kid that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. Just tremendously talented, and I tell you what, we're going to get an opportunity to see him on TV, and I just can't wait to see what that looks like. And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to accomplish great things as long as he remains dedicated and just keeps plugging away. But I tell you what, can't wait to see him on the TV on Saturday.
Yes, I've had the honor of coaching Vaden in basketball and football. Didn't get to coach much on football because he was more of an offensive guy. Didn't get to touch him much. But he was another kid that was a shining example as to the type of student athletes we have here at Prairie View, where they're going, where they're headed. Jordan's a very special kid, just like Tevin. We're proud of both of them. And Vaden, good luck to you, and best of luck. Seriously, if you need anything, you always know where to look. And so, those two down there, they deserve another round of applause because they've been here through it all.
Landen Cunning. Offensive line, parents Craig and Jeanette Cunning. He will be attending CSU Pueblo. His head college coach will be John Riston. Couple personal highlights on Landen. All conference 09-010, 10-11, and 11-12 as a sophomore, junior, and senior. 4-year letterman in football. Team captain 2011-2012. Academic all-state 3-year letterman. 3-year letterman track and field. and he should earn his 4th letter. Hopefully he'll come out for track again this spring. Personal biography: son of Craig and Jeanette Cunning, 5th generation native Coloradoan. Grandparents Orrin and Joy Cunning and Diana Wagner. Works at Buffalo Run Golf Course. I've never seen him hit a driver, but he works at the golf course. Hunts and fishes whenever possible. Head coach comments.
Landen, I not only had the opportunity to be his head coach, but also his position coach. I tell you what, this kid exemplifies what you want in a kid that's coachable. You know, as long as he takes that to the next level, God, the sky's the limit. But this is the type of kid, you coach him one, or teach him something one time, he gets it. He works tremendously hard in the weight room, on the football field. He plays, we talk about playing whistle, playing relentless. This kid exemplifies that. And I look forward to seeing him up at CSU Pueblo, and I think I may actually have some time to actually go up and see a game or two this year. So I look forward to that, proud of him, proud of the things that he's accomplished, and I know, just like everybody else here on stage, he's going to make us proud at the next level.
So Landen was our big boy. He came in on goal line situations, short yardage situations on defense. All his years that he was here, they took him, stuck him on the offensive line. Again, just like Jordan, I didn't get to see him much on defense. But his attitude, his spirit, the way he led by example was second to none. He could be looked up to by our younger kids. Coach said you teach him something once, he gets it, he understands it, he can coach anybody else you need to. And so when we used him on defense in those short yardage packages, goal line packages, it didn't take much to get him in, because he'd always be begging, when can I go in, when can I go in? He'd be sitting there. He's that type of kid that he just wants the opportunity to do whatever he can for whatever position, whatever team. He'd be a kicker, he'd be the water boy if he had to. He's that type of kid you just want to surround himself with.
Sebastian Dike. Position played, right tackle. Parents are Tim and Joni Dike. He will also be attending CSU Pueblo. His coach will also be John Riston. Couple personal highlights on Sebastian. East Metro Honorable Mention Football. Most Improved Player of the Year in 2010. Sebastian was born in 1994 in Fullerton, California. Started playing football in 5th grade. He's going to CSU Pueblo to study computer information systems. Coach Snyder.
Yeah. Sebastian's one of those kids, he's going to be missed. They're all going to be missed as football players here at Prairie View. But I tell you what, this kid, he played offensive line, and I had an opportunity to coach him, not just as a head coach, but a position coach, just like Landen. But this kid isn't just an offensive lineman; he's a football player. You know, and I really feel that CSU Pueblo is really fortunate getting him. He's the type of kid he likes every aspect of the game, as far as hitting people, the strategy, everything. You know, and I will always remember this kid for every Saturday when we watch film, or anytime we got to watch film, he's watching himself. And the question he always asked, how many pancakes I get. That was something he really prided himself on. No doubt in my mind, he's going to be a great offensive lineman. He already looks like a college offensive lineman. I know that that's only going to continue to get better up there at CSU Pueblo, and I can't wait to see him.
So as the previous three, and we can say that about any of our student athletes up here, they're the role models for our kids on and off the field. Sebastian's another great example of that. He led us in the weight room, getting after it with Landen and Oscar and Tevin and Vaden. All these kids are those shining examples, but Sebastian in particular, he was a kid we could always count on to do whatever we needed. We could move his position on the offensive line. We could move him defensively wherever I needed him to on that defensive line. Hey, he was another kid that you could always count on being there. As Coach said, he was a kid that just loves the game, loves everything about the game, and we're going to miss all of them.
Oscar Garcia. Oscar played defensive line, defensive end. His parents are Maria and Hector Garcia. He will also be attending CSU Pueblo with head coach John Riston. So we are sending 3 top-notch student athletes down to CSU Pueblo, who I understand had a fantastic season this past year, one of those up-and-coming programs. A couple personal highlights on Oscar. Second team All-Conference 2010-11. All-Conference Honorable Mention 2011-12. All-Conference Honorable Mention 2009-10. Defensive Lineman of the Year 2010-11. Personal biography. He's one of the best players I've played with. Even though he is undersized for his position, he plays like a 6'3" playmaker. The past 4 years, knowing Oscar has been a true honor. He is a shy, quiet guy at first, but when you get to know him, he is truly a character. CSU Pueblo is lucky to be getting a hard-working football player like Oscar Garcia. I'm honored to call him my friend and brother. Head coach comments.
Yeah, like his biography, he as a high school athlete and then as a college athlete, he has been a little bit undersized, and that's going to be somewhat of a challenge when he gets to that next level. But there's no doubt in my mind the way this kid works and the way that this kid plays just 100%. And this kid has what we talk about as football players or as football coaches, a motor. This guy just goes. You know, he may be undersized at the next level, but there's no doubt in my mind the way that he works, his work ethic, and his dedication, and just the way he plays the game. He's going to get after it. He's going to be a guy that's going to be excited to see at that next level. And all 3 of these guys going to CSU Pueblo, I'm going to have to take the time to go up there and watch them, because now we got you 3, and I think we have 5 others that have signed in the past. But he's going to be a guy with along with the other ones, who's going to be excited to watch, excited to see. So can't wait.
So Oscar is relentless, like Coach said. There was one game this year against Stanley Lake. He took on a lineman, took on a running back, and then still sacked the quarterback. I remember that play well, Oscar. And that's just the type of kid he is. Doesn't care what's standing in front of him, what's preventing him. He's going to find a way to achieve his goals and achieve what he wants, which is success. Whatever he's done, whatever he's touched, whatever he's put his mind to, those obstacles have come down because of that motor, that commitment, and that dedication he's had. So at that next level, that determination is going to carry him far. So Oscar, good luck and congrats.
Thank you, Coach Snyder and Coach Riccio. Could we have Coach Brandon Beecher up to the stage, please? Kristina Morben. Kristina Morben, a softball player, catcher, outfield. Parents are Michelle and Randy Whittick. She will be attending Lamar Community College. Her college head coach will be Craig Brooks. Personal highlights. Most defensive player 2011, second team all-conference 2011, academic all-state honorable mention 2010, varsity letter junior and senior years, batting average .531. Personal biography. I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. I've been playing softball for 4 years and catching for 2. I want to maybe become a biomedical engineer. I also plan to plan to go to CSU Fort Collins after my 2 years at Lamar. I also love to go boating, four-wheeling, and camping. Coach Beecher.
Thank you. Kristina Morben, things I can say about Kristina is she's dedicated, her work ethic, her drive, her passion definitely will take her to whatever level she wants to go. She came to us 4 years ago and hadn't really played any softball at all. And for her to be where she's at now from where she was, a huge, huge turnaround for her. She started out as an outfielder for us and ended up being a catcher as well. Her greatest asset is definitely her speed. She runs the bases like a lot of kids I haven't seen before. She very fast, very smart, aggressive. So those are the things you look for. And I have no doubt she's going to do well at the college level, and just because of her drive and her passion. And I'm proud to have been part of her journey, and I wish her nothing but the best of luck in the future. So, thank you, Kristina.
Thank you, Coach Beecher. If we could have Coach Ofield up to the stage, please. Killen. Kyle will be signing for baseball. He also plays basketball. Position, shortstop and pitcher. Parents, Brian and Kim Killen. He will be attending Northeasten Junior College in Sterling, Colorado. His head coach is Brian Shepard. Kyle, first team all-conference 2011, 3-year letterman in baseball. We anticipate he will get a 4th letter this spring. First team all-academic, multiple times. National Honor Society, 3-year letterman in basketball. Most likely going to have a 4th of those as well. Personal biography, I would just like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for the ability to play college ball. I would also like to thank my mom and dad for everything they have done for me and push me to the best of my ability. Last but not least, I would like to thank Coach Ofield for believing in me and giving me a shot, and also thanks to everyone else that helped and believed in me.
Well, I don't know about that 4th letter. I think that's going to be a tight race. 3rd letter? Okay. Well, I was talking in baseball. I'm not so sure about that, but we'll see. I remember I've had the opportunity to have Kyle for the last 4 years for his entire career at Prairie View and in baseball as well. I remember him coming to me. He was a little guy, not really what he looks like today, but it was clear that he was passionate about baseball. His work ethic was top-notch, and everything that he is doing here today, attending college, going to play at the collegiate level, it's all because of the fact that he earned that through his hard work. I'm proud of him today for reaching this milestone in his life, and I have no doubt that there'll be great things in the future for him. Congratulations.
Dominic Cardenas. Dominic will also be signing for baseball. He 3rd base. I believe he also pitches a little bit. Parents, Christian and Timothy Cardenas. He will be attending McPhesason College in Kansas. His head coach will be Andrew Elling. A couple personal highlights on Dominic. First team all-conference pitcher sophomore year. Second team all-conference second baseman junior year. 3-year varsity letterman. His personal biography, a driven young man who will one day coach the youth, our youth, hopefully out here in the Prairie View area. That'd be great. I have been playing baseball since I was 4. I attribute all my success to God and my parents.
Well, had I known that he was going to switch to a bulldog mascot and all this red, I don't know. You know, same thing with Dom. I had the opportunity to have Dom for the last 4 years, and we had a unique relationship as I started out being his position coach in the first 2 years before I became the head. So we shared a lot of time in the bullpen. Those bullpen sessions are one-on-one and just him and I. And it was clear to me early on that he was very passionate about baseball. It's one of the top things that he wanted to do. Down in the bullpen, he worked tirelessly at his technique, so it also demonstrated his work ethic that was second to none. Both Kyle and Dom are leaders on our team. They've grown to be leaders on our team, and I am proud to have these guys for the last 4 years and be a part of their life. I look forward to a lot of things with these guys in our last year, and there's no question that Dom is going to be a very successful individual when he goes on to college. Congratulations, Dom.
So now it's almost time to sign those letters of intent in front of you, but first we want to hear a little bit from each one of you. Talking to some of the parents this morning, for some of the younger student athletes in the room, parents, teachers that are in this building, we remember seeing these student athletes walking the hallway as 7th and 8th graders. Now they're seniors and they're getting ready to leave us pretty soon, and that has kind of happened in the blink of an eye. Time goes fast, so enjoy your time while you're here in high school. Let's start down with Tevin, and we'll go down the line and hear a little bit from each student athlete.
Alright, so y'all want to know about recruiting? Alright, to be honest, recruiting was terrible.
Stand up!
Yes, sir. Alright, so I really didn't like the recruiting process because for me, it was just very stressful because I'm just a very stressful person. But for anyone else, I bet they could say that they enjoyed it because having to be worth somebody that somebody's like, hey, I want that kid right there. That was a pretty awesome feeling. And so right now I'm just excited. I'm going to a school in Indiana. It didn't do the best, but hopefully with mine and some other recruits going up there, we could change that. So I'm just pretty excited, and thank you guys for coming out.
Mr. Affleck asked us to talk about recruiting. So recruiting for me was kind of cool. It was kind of a big time moment for me, get to be one of the top recruits in the nation, in the area. And so really based off of that, it was really a blessing. Like Dom and Kyle said, it's only something that you get through your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And basically it was just an amazing feeling to have so many people want you in your program, and so many people that are willing to give you a chance to get an education and further your life, because that's the most important thing. And I'd like to really thank people that have supported me throughout this journey. I remember when I was 4 and 5 years old, that was my goal, was to play college football and maybe for the next level. And so since then I've been working towards it. And I'd like to also thank my new head coach and coaches at CSU for having such a great program for me to come into, and hopefully we can get a national championship.
So the recruiting process for me was kind of like Tevin. It was really stressful, but it's fun just going to all the other camps and competing with other athletes that you don't typically compete with. So it was fun and it was stressful. I'm excited about CSU Pueblo. We just came off an RMAC championship, so hoping to get some more down there. So, yeah.
So just like Tevin and Landen, the recruiting process for me was kind of stressful as well. But like Landen said, going out on the camps and experiencing all the other players down there and be able to compete and whatnot, it was fun and all. But like once it gets closer to signing day, it gets stressful. You're like, oh my God, where do I want to go? Like, it's stressful. And then, like Landon said, I'm excited to go down to Pueblo because they were #1 in the nation for up until the playoffs, and they won the RMAC championship. And so I'm excited to go down there and play ball.
My recruiting process was scary. I thought I was going to play anymore. It was stressful, and I'm excited to go see us at Pueblo. Play with these guys right here, my brothers. It's going to be fun, and go Pack.
My recruiting process was a little short. I kind of started it about a month ago. It was just really stressful because I didn't know what colleges I wanted to go to, or even if I wanted to play college. And then some advice: if you want to go to college, definitely start it a lot sooner than a month before you decide to sign. And I just thought I'd say thank you for all you guys for coming out.
My recruiting process was a little chaotic at first. I had a few offers, but I went down to basically start for a little camp. And they said it might be better to go to junior college. And then sure enough, later that week, I ended up going to Northeasten. And like, it's kind of crazy going up there, and you want to do your best, but just be yourself when you're up there, because they'll take you for you, not for who you are. And just when I got to Northeasten, just being around the guys that were with me, I was with them, we were practicing, it's just like I was part of the team already. So once you get there, you'll pretty much know that's the college for you. So once you get there, it's pretty easy from there on. Other than that, thank you guys for coming out.
My recruiting process was not very stressful at all. I started it pretty soon. You should start it your junior year, maybe even sooner. Just start contacting coaches, saying you're interested, keeping in touch email, going on visits, and the biggest thing I have to say is get it done in the classroom, because that is the most appealing thing to a coach, is what you do in the classroom. And so, yeah, I'm ready to start a new chapter in my life, and I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm a Bulldog.
Can we have another big round of applause for all things student athletes? Okay, I think it's time to warm those pins up. So folks, if you got your cameras and you want to come up and get photos, they are going to do their signing right now. Make sure you spell your names correctly. Go ahead. Okay, so we are going to open it up for just a few minutes to ask individual questions of the student athletes. If you have a question, would you please raise your hand and stand up and ask that individual student athlete their question. Anybody with a question for them? I'm going to allow proper wait time here, just like your teachers do in class. Anybody with a question for any of the student athletes? If not, we have time to ask them afterwards. All the way in the back.
Okay, this is for Tevin. I was just wondering if you're nervous to go so far away from your family and friends.
Not really. I was at first because I'll miss them, but my point is if I go out of state, then I really don't have my family to fall back on and everything, so it'll just be me. And if I don't get my work done or do it wrong, there's no one to blame except myself. But of course I'll miss everybody. Miss you all. Love you. I miss my dad. I'll miss my sister, Jada, and Superboy over there. But I'll miss y'all too. I'll miss all my friends and people that are special to me, and thank you again for coming.
Anyone else? All right, I think what we're going to do now is I would like a couple reminders. Students that are here for today's signing ceremony, it's very important you sign in at the table right behind the first section so that you will be excused for your third hour class. Please make sure you do that. We also want to allow time for each of the student athletes and their families to have pictures up at the table here with each other or individually, so we're going to allow time for that. And then I believe that we will have some cake and different things for the student athletes shortly after that. So at this time, if parents want to come up and take pictures with their student athletes, if you have friends that are going to come up and do that, why don't we begin that process?